Okay, stopped it. Jai Shri Mataji. Good evening, everyone. Who doesn't know me, my name's Nicholas in the UK. We have a few people. So I hope you're all well. We're in the middle of summer, kind of. And life suddenly becomes a lot more pleasant. And we can enjoy all the abundance that suddenly shoots out over spring and into summer. So we're going to just now get ourselves settled down for the evening and for the video and for our meditation. So we'll just do, as I usually do, and probably everyone else does, just a little sort of clearing ourselves as much as possible and settling down to try and get as thoughtless as possible. So I'll play a bit more of the music. Now, music, yes. What I'm going to do this today, I came across, so it's by way of a little experiment, I came across chimes, bells, that had been used for meditation. And I thought, well, let's see if people like this. You may not. Some may not. I'm sorry if you don't. But I just want to see. I think they're very relaxing in a way. They're just like the wind blowing chimes, blowing things. So I'm going to play that during this first meditation, so that it helps us go deeper and helps us get ourselves kind of into the right state after a day of doing all kinds of things that you're probably doing. So let's then we'll raise our Kundalini in a minute when we get settled, when we get centered. We'll use this time now to scan ourselves, to check ourselves, to get ourselves in the right state. Let's just shut our eyes and take some breaths and go deeper. So I'm just checking, looking for these bells which have disappeared. We just sit quietly for a few minutes. our breath nice and steady, slowed down, which has a good effect on our nervous system. And just make sure our back's straight and we're sitting comfortably as usual. So during the day, many things happen. We can have very good experiences, very stressful experiences, very bad experiences. And now's the time to look at them without getting involved, be detached from them, and then let them go into the ethers. And just let this tinkling take us wherever it wants to, but keep our attention, of course, in the central channel as much as we can. And do whatever postures and movements and things we have to do to balance our left side, right side, cleanse any chakras. This is the moment to get ourselves sorted for a few minutes. And as we sit, we have to be very kind to ourselves. If we've made mistakes or upset people or upset ourselves, no judgment. Let's just be kind this evening. I think Saji-yogis have a great capacity for being kind. And it's wonderful, really. So actually these bells are very hard because they're completely spontaneous. They just happen as various movements happen. There's no tune, there's no melody. They just help us drift into a better state of consciousness. But if people find or don't like this music, this sound, just pop it in the chat and I'll stop it. So I think we should be more centered now. So let's all raise our Kundalini and put on a bandhan. So we'll keep ourselves, keep our attention in the central channel. Let it flow up to the Sahasrara and flow down again if you want to. Flow up again. Flow into all the chakras on the way. Right, now I just get the video up. Actually, we've put this into two parts. This is the first part. It's quite long and quite interesting. At this time of the year, it's really about us being a guru.
As you know that the principle of Guru resides in the void. This is the principle which gives you balance, which gives you the gravity. The gravity that we have in the Mother Earth is expressed through your Guru principle. The first point of gravity is that you should have a personality, a character, and a temperament that people would see that you are a personality who doesn't get dissolved into worldly things. Is a personality which doesn't get ruined by the skirmishes of life. Is the personality of a guru which sits down deep into his being and is not easily disturbed or dissolved by any solvent whatsoever. This is the first principle of the Guru, is the gravity. As I told you It is something which cannot be dissolved into anything. It settles very deep down into your personality. So it doesn't float in the water. Now you see, in the countries which are developed very much, we think that we have a very great power of individual attainment. That individually we are absolutely free, we can do whatever we like. And that's why individual freedom becomes the goal of all democratic countries, neglecting the collective. Of course, individual is important and it has to become alright to nourish the collective. But if the individual does not have the gravity, then they float on the surface. And anything can impress them. That's why we find today people get impressed by fashions. By fashions which by no logical reason are good for your health, for your wisdom. No fashion is good for your health, nor for your development as a personality. Sometimes you look so odd with it, so funny, so stupid. Then they ask you question, what's wrong in becoming stupid? What's wrong in becoming foolish? The reason is you have an individual freedom, but your personality has not grown. Your personality is zero. You have no personality left. You cannot decide anything for yourself. Whatever is the fashion, you just run after. Is the situation of the Western countries, but in the countries like India now, they are also in some sort of a craze because they have to still pass through the so-called affluence that you have. So they'll take to the crazes like supposing somebody sees a very beautiful carpet with someone, then all rush to buy the carpet. They'll do anything for getting things to themselves. So they turn towards materialism also in the same way as you people turn to fashions. The individuality is alright up to a point, but then it becomes a madness. Especially in the West, the personality is so low, is so missing, that any entrepreneur can develop any craze, any name, and everybody runs after that and is impressed. So those who are today here to worship the Guru, they have to worship their own Guru within themselves and have to understand that first thing and foremost thing is that we must have gravity in temple. You do not need education for that, university education. You need not read books, you need not do anything. Only thing is that you have to have your value system corrected. When your value system is corrected, you understand what is good for the society, what is good for it. In your value system, you have to first of all understand what is auspiciousness, what is divine beauty, and what is morality of the spirit. These three things are to be realized and are to be part and parcel of your being, so that When people see you, they should say, here is a person we can see who has that gravity. Here is the person who has that beauty. It acts inside, outside. A person who has that sobriety inside dresses up in a sober way. He doesn't dress up to impress others or just to show off or to hide something or to expose something. But just to respect his body, he dresses up. When he talks to others, he talks wisdom. He doesn't talk frivolous things, useless things, and things which are of very baser level. In his own enterprises, I would say, he has a kind of a decency and a decorum. Like a person tries to become an expert. A person who worships his guru tries to be an expert in his work. Like supposing there's a person who is an engineer. He doesn't care for money. He doesn't care for fame. He doesn't care for applauses from others. What he cares is, does he really understand his subject matter? It won't be mediocrity. Musician has to be perfectly a musician. Artist has to be a perfect artist. He does not use the general methods of expertise, but his spirit, the guidance of his spirit, he tries to improve. Like there's a poet, he tries to improve his poetry on the level of his spirit, but not on the level of money. Because normally people would write things just to please the majority of the people so they can sell their books, or something filthy, which is not benevolent to the society, not to the name of the writer. They don't mind. They become shameless about it. So, not that the Guru himself has the value system, but through his lifestyle, through his own preachings, through his own behavior, he radiates gravity to others. He radiates gravity to others.
So I said just continue and sit quietly. I think working backwards of what Sri Mataji was saying, that the Guru, with his behavior and all the rest, radiates gravity to others. And I think that's one of the most profound qualities in Sri Mataji, our Guru, was what she radiated. Yes, she radiated love and gentleness, but maybe we didn't realize what it was, but I think the word that she's chosen, the word gravity, is what affected us. Even though she was very jocular and had a great sense of humour, it wasn't cheap, her humour. It wasn't at anybody's expense. And we're just going to start this meditation on a little reflection. Whether we're not affected too much by exterior life, or like a ship in a sea, going straight on its course and not being pushed around, not easily disturbed. and letting our own gravity develop deep down within us, keeping us grounded. I don't think gravity is just seriousness. I think it's a very strong energy to our source. And Shimataji used the phrase, otherwise we float on the surface. And we get impressed by different things on that surface. Especially things like fashion, which is very subtle the way it enters our lives. So we have to be aware of our value system and embrace the deeper things to value. A couple of things you mentioned was auspiciousness, or embracing and using and living in auspiciousness, and the morality of the spirit, which is possibly more subtle. Not some kind of church morality or religious morality, but the morality of the spirit, which we're all going to have to find individually. So, just with our mind on the qualities of the Guru inside us, the real Guru we are, not just the disciple to Shrimataji, but also she wants us and has wanted us to be Gurus as well, which of course all those who are doing programs and things are doing, they're being Gurus. And I don't think we should be shy about it. That's our responsibility. So when we talk to others, we just need to bear in mind our own gravity. And we can ask ourselves, what do I radiate? What do I radiate? Do I radiate love, confidence, auspiciousness, patience, compassion? Let's just remind ourselves to look for where our Kundalini is. Is she still rising through the top of our heads? Opening like a flower? And if not, let's draw her back to the top of our heads. As high as you like. We can detach ourselves from, let drop away all the things that seem to matter in our lives during the day. our circumstances, our surroundings, the people we know, family, job, let them all just drift away. Bits be separated from them for a short while. Like a little planet that floats in the universe. I think many Saj yogis are too shy to feel they radiate anything. But if you believe you radiate love and all the good things, all the positive energies can flow from you and can affect your environment. Rather than us being affected by our environment, we create the energies of our environment. It just needs more confidence in ourselves. And by having our Kundalini awakened, all these energies can be released within us, out of us, flowing through us. And let's bow down to that part of us, within us, that is holy. Wherein Shri Mataji can be reflected in us. As she was, the formless made form, and we are lucky enough to have that form. And to let that enter our hearts and minds and souls, spirit. So just a few more minutes trying to keep ourselves detached from our environment, from our daily life, into another realm, another reality. And if we can keep our attention above our heads, and we can all meet in the Sahasrara. And this is where the drops become the ocean. And see if we can find and honor and grow into that detached energy that is love, compassion, and so on, but that we can stay on that thin line. So we can raise our Kundalini and put ourselves in Bandhaniyam. So that brings us to the end. I hope we're all feeling better after the day. Thank you very much for joining me. Enjoy Shri Mataji and have a lovely evening and the rest of this week. Good night.